Should be
all right. Yeah. There we go. All that blue
live
sky.
Live on Facebook.
Okay.
My goodness.
All right. I'm going to share this real quick on my page. So we got another minute. All right. Here we go. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I just want to thank Adam so much for helping out and learning how to be a tech guy.
Adam's a rock star.
Yeah.
We've always known that, though.
I know, huh? Share now. Okay. All right. See what time do we got? It is 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. And Shawn will be back with us here in just a second. There he is. But I am just so excited today to get to talk to my friend Shawn Madden, who is a homesteader, a musician, a media producer, and a creative pirate, along with being a dad and husband and a human being.
Right.
And Shawn, you're also part of a men's collective, right? The Men Up coaching team.
Yeah.
You want to just say a little something about that real quick before we dive in?
Sure. Hi, Deanna. How about this day, huh?
Oh my gosh, it is so beautiful. It is so beautiful out.
So good to be talking to you. Thanks for inviting me on your show. This is cool.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, the Men Up team is a team that I formed almost literally 3 years ago. In May 8th, it'll be 3 years, and we've been meeting as a team weekly for the last 3 years. And what that means is that we're a group of men who we listen to each other and we share what there is to share to for the rest of the men to really be able to give us the support that we need and the sort of the contextual framing of meeting the challenges that we need to meet as husbands and fathers and stewards of our community.
Mm-hmm. I'd like how you frame that as stewards of the community and all of the.
Sorry, go
I
ahead.
visited the Facebook page and I've been watching. We're going to be today. I like posted in our thing that we'd be discussing the importance of environment and what it takes to be radically creative and responding to the demands of the current situation.
It felt like, okay, here's an opportunity to just kind of let it all hang out, and more than a month. And I don't know if we're creating something brand new for the more essential things, and it becomes this sort of rich, fertile.
It feels like what I feel like the phase I'm moving out of is accepting this is the new normal instead of waiting for it to go back and like seeing, like you made the compost description. It's like, okay, what is transforming? What is non-essential that will now just decompose and feed what's essential in my own life?
Yeah, and around here, I mean, like I said, I've got a toddler, and we have a 9-year-old here who's here every other week, right? So because school's out, and we've had this split custody situation where it was kind of a convoluted back and forth. Now it's real simple. He's with us 7 days, then he's with dad 7 days. He's with us 7 days, with dad 7 days. So, in some ways, we've been sort of relieved from the manic pressure of having to take one kid to school, and but we had somebody who was coming in and helping with the baby for somewhere around 30 hours a week, and that's just gone, right? So, and I'm the one, because my wife runs her business out of the house, so I'm the one who's basically doing the shopping and prepping the meals and taking care of the baby, and then also keeping my creative spark alive through writing and sharing music and, you know, those kinds of things. So, and working with you on the Unity project. And so what I'm finding, and growing food, like it's amazing how much I'm actually up to, considering, you know, everything's shut down, quote unquote, right? You know, what I'm really starting to see is that the essential stuff is, you know, like what if the internet disappeared altogether?
Right.
Like today, you know, what would life look like? Oh, well, it'd probably look like a lot like it looks like right now. I'd be growing food. I'd be taking care of my chickens, making sure that they're healthy so that they can, you know, provide eggs for us. I'd be, you know, preparing good meals. My wife would be out of a job. That would be interesting. But then everybody would be out in the garden, and you know, and we'd be making connections with other people who are also producing food or creating, you know, sewing clothes and, you know, making toys and whatever. Of course, you'd have to do it in a socially distant kind of way or whatever. But so, you know, yeah. I don't know where. I just kind of went off on a tangent. I don't know where we're.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
It's all good, right? We're charting new territory, so.
Nice. All right. I've always been kind of a wanderer, so here we go.
In one of the videos I watched of you on the We Are Men Up page, you were talking about how that it's the time to kick ass right now. Yeah. Like, how do you feel like you're kicking ass right now?
Well, it's interesting, right? Because on some, you know, there's no one size fits all. I think one of the marks of maturity in my own thinking is realizing that I don't have the answers for everybody, right? Like that my perspective is valid for me and anyone else that it might resonate with at that moment. And then, you know, the next day, it may be a whole different set of people that resonates with that particular message, which is kind of what makes putting stuff out on the internet so powerful, because you put it on the internet and then it's there and people can find it when they need it, you know? So, but yeah, sometimes it is for kicking ass. Like right now, making sure that I've got seeds that are sprouting and that my garden beds are getting ready to receive them. And that I know where the gophers have staked out their territory. So I know where to be on guard with them, and I know, you know, where to plant stuff for them, and, you know, then create other beds for us. So when it comes to the basic needs for survival is really like that's really what I've started to dial into. It's like, you know, there's no guarantee that this situation that we're in, that the economy is going to bounce back, that, you know, I don't have any sense that this viral situation is going away anytime in the next 3, 6, even 12 months. You know, I think we've got a long haul in front of us in terms of what there is to prepare for, in terms of weathering the storm. You know, I mean, there's already 17 million people or something out of work. You know, I read today that the small business loan program that got created for this situation is basically running out of money today. $350 million just already like loaned out, you know. And, you know, so I think that anyone who's sort of like twiddling their thumbs, you know, waiting for Trump to do something, or for Biden to win and, you know, knock him off the podium, and, you know, like all that stuff is a distraction from really what there is to do right now, which is, you know, where's your food source? Where's your water source? Where's your community? Where are the people who are going to be, you know, in it with you if or when things get really, really tough?
Right. Yeah, you shared a link to your Facebook page within the last few days. It was from the CDC, and it was talking about the pandemic in 1918.
Right.
But I read that, and actually it gave me hope, even though at the beginning of all this, I hadn't imagined it going on past a couple of months. I mean, I really
Yep.
thought I thought by
Yeah.
now we'd be back to normal, you know?
Yeah.
But it talked about how it came in 3 waves and then it burned itself out.
Yep.
But we are like our country had something to show for going through all that. And
Yep.
here all of us are. I think it might be more challenging to us because of the internet, and we're used to having all everything available to us, you know, just like that.
Information wise, yeah, information
Yeah.
and then the way that the food supply system has been set up, it is you go
Hmm.
to the grocery store and get your thing and you go home and you don't think twice about it. Even, you know, your meat, like your meat is, you get it in plastic, you know, if
Yeah.
you eat meat. If you don't eat meat, then that's something else, but still you get your carrots in plastic. But
Hmm.
yeah, that's not where carrots come from.
Right.
you know,
Right.
I had a similar experience when I read that CDC report about the 1918 flu, because what it did for me is it put into perspective, like, oh, okay, yeah, a whole bunch of people died worldwide from that thing, but a whole bunch of people also survived.
Hmm.
And from that was, you know, we went into the roaring 20s, like, you know, the economy basically bounced back. Then there was a Great Depression after that, you know, whatever. But the point
Yeah.
is that life goes on.
It
Life goes
does.
on. And, you know, I'm interested in being here when this thing is over. So that's
Yeah.
why when I say it's time to kick ass, what I'm talking about is I'm talking about getting focused on what is actually required for survival,
Yeah.
you know.
Different things matter right now than mattered in February.
Absolutely. Yeah. Amazing
Yeah.
how fast it changed too, right? Like, whoo, overnight, literally, like
Right?
one day we woke up and went, oh, wait, wait a minute. School's canceled?
Yep.
What?
Yep.
I know there was going to be spring break, but now there's going to be an extra week at least. Oh, okay. That's
Yep.
serious. Yeah.
Yeah. I had to run a series of errands. I try to cluster my errands together now.
Yeah.
And because I just want to get it over with and come home and shower and get into my daytime jammies, right?
Right.
And so
Gotta
it
have those
was
daytime jammies.
right. And I noticed this is what I did. I wear a little fanny pack now that I had to get it from Nick at 0 Point Athletics because I have to have a fanny pack now.
Of
So I got
course.
my little fanny pack on. I stuck in my like 12 plastic gloves, my little sanitizer, hand sanitizer, popped my mask on, and I just went out to the car and it was like so normal.
Right.
Where I remember the first time I did that, I was like, oh my gosh, am I going to do this right? Am I going to forget something? You know, it was nerve wracking. And now it's not. I
Yeah.
just, you just get your supplies and you go out.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I remember the first time I sprayed, because I got some lab grade alcohol. I figured if I'm gonna carry around something to disinfect with, it's gonna be like high, you know, high quality. So I sprayed my credit card when I handed it to the lady, and then when she gave it back to me, I sprayed it again before I put it back in my wallet. And it was like I was like, I can't. This is so weird. This is the weirdest thing. I wanted
Yeah.
to say something about this, about the daytime jammies though, because
Okay.
you know, when you asked me about the kick ass thing, it made me realize that, you know, I think that there's always paradox, right? There's always two sides at least to the story,
Yeah.
and I think that what we're presented with right now is both sides of that, right? There's the opportunity and the mandate really to
Hmm.
focus on what is required for survival, what's required just to like weather the storm, you know, and getting really focused and being in action around that. But I think that the flip side of that is that it's also important to like let this be an opportunity to really slow down,
Hmm.
slow down and rest and give yourself the opportunity. Like, shoot, if capitalism is going to fall, that means that the rat race is over. You know,
Hmm.
that means that the rush to keep up with the Joneses is over. That means that the the frenetic, gotta do the thing to get the thing to do the thing to get the thing to do the thing to get the thing is over.
Yes.
So, daytime jammies, nighttime jammies, whatever. Just like,
Yeah.
I think kick ass, but also give yourself time and space to breathe. I mean, shoot, the skies haven't been this clear in so many years. So
Right.
let's sit out and enjoy that blue,
Yes. Yeah. I have really had to make myself slow down because as soon as this happened, from the first Sunday, I knew we would just be live streaming and we'd canceled all of our other events. I felt like I had to step up what I was doing to start bringing different things in up to the table for us at Unity.
Yeah.
And but at the same time, I was working a lot in daytime jammies, which I'm not wearing daytime jammies right now. I'm wearing actual clothes. But
good for you.
I woke up.
Congratulations.
I woke up one night in the middle of the night, like sat straight up in bed. My shoulders were tensed up. I was clenching my jaw, and my own grinding teeth woke me up. And I sat up in bed, and an adrenaline rush. And I was like, everybody else is relaxing right now. I should be relaxing. I should be doing more for myself too. It was weird. So, and then at that moment, I was like, I have to start making myself meditate in the mornings again, where I used to do it all the time because the time afforded it. But I've had to really pay attention to what I'm doing too, because I want to overcompensate. I want to over worry about everything.
Yep. And that's going back to the idea of being a steward of your community. I mean, you're the minister of a congregation, right? Like you have a whole bunch of people who are looking to you for leadership, who are looking to you to be the example of what do we do in this situation.
I know.
And if you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off, then we should run around like a chicken with our head cut off. But no.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
You can't take care of your flock if you're not taking care of yourself too.
I think one of the best leadership trainings ever is to have children. Because your kids, you can pretend to put on a happy face, but because you know what, I don't know about you, but I can run around like a chicken with his head cut off, but look calm on the outside. But my kids will always notice that. And even now, my children are young adults now, but they're still at home and they still look at how I behave, and so it's like, well, okay, we cannot fake it to our kids. They know when we're not in congruence with what we say, they know we're not doing what we say.
That's right.
So
I'm so new at the actual biological children game. He'll be 2 in a week. So we're just getting started. I'm just getting started. My wife's been a mom now for almost 10 years, so she's got to jump on me and being a what I call bonus dad is it's almost more challenging. It's almost more challenging than with my own kid because Ethan just follows me around like I'm his dad, like I'm the whatever, but not so much with the 9-year-old step bonus son, because he's like you're pretty cool in some ways.
Right.
Yeah, so it's really fascinating. It's a really fascinating journey to be on with it.
Yeah, I was thinking about you guys, how with your little one, like he doesn't even have a clue anything's going on. He's just living in the sun, watering your soaking wet plants for you.
Right. Not consciously. I mean, he's definitely, because we experience the stress of it. I mean, not having help with childcare is
Hmm.
a big, like that's a big, it's challenging for me. It's
Yeah.
definitely challenging for me, and um, I'm getting better pretty much daily. I get better at being able to, like, oh, just flow with, okay, I have 5 minutes to, like, take care of this little repair job, like, whatever, or, water my plants, or, I'm gonna have 12 minutes to pick some weeds, and then I'm gonna have to go run after him, and that's just how it is. That's just
Yeah.
how it's flowing. So, but he's definitely. I think he misses the lady that was coming over to help, and because
Hmm.
she was spending 5-6 hours just focused on him. Like she didn't have any
Yeah.
other thing to do but pay attention to him and read with him and walk with him and do all of these other things with him. So
Hmm.
he's definitely feeling it, but yeah, he's having a good
Yeah.
time. He's probably the biggest source of joy in my life right
Yeah. They are. They really are. My kids are still my biggest sources of joy. So
now. Your kids are awesome. Hear that, Adam? Your kids are awesome.
they are. And they are, I think how they are handling this, because my daughter's going to be 21 and not too long from now, and my son's 23.
Mhm.
And they seem to be going with the flow of all of this really, really easily.
Yeah.
Where I kind of noticed, like with me and my husband, there's a little more resistance in there. Do
Mm.
you think that like that's an age thing?
Well, I think, I mean, just without, going too deeply into the psychoanalysis or the generational analysis or anything like that, I would think it seems to me to make sense that you and your husband have more at stake, right? Like
Mm,
there's an economic reality to this whole thing that makes it go, whoa. My
hmm.
wife doesn't. We don't know how long her business is going to last in this thing.
Yeah.
If people are out of work, because she works in the online entrepreneurial space, and if people don't
Hmm.
have money to invest in their online entrepreneurial stuff, she doesn't have clients because
Right.
that's where her business is. So, I think children and even young adults who don't have a mortgage and don't have, they're not necessarily feeling the crunch of having to make sure that there's enough food for, you know, at least a little while.
Hmm.
I mean, it's not about panic buying, but I think one of the blessings of this is that everybody's kind of realized, oh, maybe I should
Hmm.
have more on hand than just the next couple days groceries.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So in your so with the men that you coach, like what is like kind of just what's the average challenge that you think people are facing right now? Like about like with what they do with their time and how they do what they do with their time.
yeah, it really depends. It really depends on the situation. I mean, for men who are married, and have children and are out of work,
Hmm.
there's a whole set of challenges of, like, where the heck am I going to provide for my family? And then there's
Hmm.
the added challenge of, like, oh man, I used to be out of the house for 40 to 50 hours a week, even 60 hours a week. So I didn't really have a sense of just how chaotic children really are, like there's those kinds of challenges. You know, I think single men are, if you have work, and I think the biggest challenge for a single man is to actually, like, have a sense of purpose.
Hmm.
Like I have a sense of purpose. I wake up every morning with a sense of purpose because there's people here who really depend upon me being present and focused and in action and ready to provide for them. But for single men, I don't know. I guess you
Mm-hmm.
could go, get all revolutionary, or could, fall into a tunnel of addictions and, all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. That's
Mm-hmm.
happening. Um, it just depends on the circumstance.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their own situation that they got to look at. But
Mm-hmm.
with our group, we're focusing on what we found is because we started offering our calls to opening our calls. We're not streaming them online, but we are opening them up so that men can come in and be on the calls with us and receive guidance and hear what we're doing and draw some inspiration and motivation from that.
Mm-hmm.
And we decided to do this because we realized that the tools that we're using and the distinctions that we've made and the way that we work together is more relevant now than it was even before all of this stuff happened, because
Mm-hmm.
we're operating inside of a little culture that cares for men and their, like, the scope of their life. Like, how are they on 5 different points: their family and relationships, their physical health and well-being, their authentic livelihood, their financial prosperity, their spiritual mastery and personal growth, and how they are as leaders in their community with their
Mm-hmm.
with their community. So we're looking at the whole being, the whole man, right? And
Mm-hmm.
looking at, like, well, what do you need? What do you need to have all 5 of those things firing? What do you need to
Mm-hmm.
be, like, feel really good? And so we use basic disciplines, on a monthly basis to kind of keep us sharp and keep us practicing discipline as a discipline, right? Because just
Mm-hmm.
being disciplined all by itself is a discipline.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's we're what we're trying to do is we're trying to meet a need that it's not really clearly defined what exactly it is or who it's for, but
Mm-hmm.
we're all married men with children,
Mm-hmm.
and most of the other men have a lot more experience as fathers than I do, um, and as married men for that matter. But and my job is kind of I'm the sort of the content producer. I kind of like go, okay, let's try this. Let's see what we're gonna do here.
Yeah. Well, I, so I want to ask you just one more thing because it's almost 1:30 already.
Oh my goodness,
But
that went by so fast. I could talk to you
you
all day, Deanna.
I could talk to you all day. But you said that you get up in the morning feeling like present and focused, like really right there in that moment. And I noticed something that I was doing when this started happening, that I
Mhm.
would think, okay, I'm going to either just read this fun book, not a self-help or personal growth book, right? A fun book. I'm going to read this fun book, or I'm going to watch Netflix or play a computer game because I can't handle everything right now. And I
Yeah.
realized, like, if I don't get like present and centered, I can't do those become like escapism behaviors.
Sure.
Yeah. And so it's interesting, like what I can turn into escapism behaviors to just avoid all this. And so I've really been learning the power of being present and focused. And I was wondering, like, what is one of your favorite things to do to like really get you in that space?
Of being present.
Yeah.
Uh, anything having to do with the yard and the property and the gardening, and
Mm-hmm.
pulling weeds is such a damn perfect practice, because it's deeply humbling, like, literally down on my hands and knees,
Mm-hmm.
connecting with the earth, and you know there's something to be said for, all life forms have value and la 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 la, but I pull the weeds here because we've got a bunch of foxtails, and they get into animals' noses and pause and all this kind of stuff, and causes them pain and causes us economic distress. So I'm down on my hands and knees pulling weeds. And it's not my favorite activity at all. I don't particularly enjoy it. I enjoy the result, and I enjoy the feeling of accomplishment, and I enjoy the feeling of my body having that workout. And yeah, that gets me really present because it's like the before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water, kind of thing. Before
love
enlightenment,
that.
pull weeds. After enlightenment, pull weeds.
Yeah. Well, and that brings up like this thing for us all to think about is we may not always feel like doing the thing that will center us or that we need to do to make money or to do whatever for our house. We may not feel like doing it. And if we wait till we feel like doing it, may not get done. So just do it. Right. I know I don't usually feel like meditating.
Right.
Like I make myself. I
wanted to respond to something that you said though about getting up in the morning and did my
your thing just went off. Yeah.
All right. Is it 40?
You're back.
Is it 2:40 already or 1:40? What time
is it? It is 1:33.
1:33. Okay, good.
Okay.
Good. So you said, watching Netflix or doing something like that, and you called it an escapism. I just want to challenge this idea, right? Because, I know you as someone who is deeply motivated to be of service, and someone who is committed to the work that you do and the people that you're doing it for. And if you were somebody who you weren't up to anything and you had nothing going on, and you were just eating bonbons, you got up in the morning and ate bonbons and watched Netflix and complained about how crappy your life was, I would agree that that's an escapist thing.
Okay.
But I think that for those of us who are to some degree prolific in our capacity to show up for life, I think that some degree of no demand no demand kind of activity, I think can be just as valuable as taking a nap or doing a meditation or doing a yoga class or whatever. Because I do the same thing. I need to check out. I need to not think about what's going on for a bit, an hour at a time or something like that. So, I'm just, for you, you may still experience it as escapism, but I'm in a process for myself of learning and identifying those places where I judge myself more harshly than I need to be judged. It's like, no, I get up and I spend my day serving my family and the people that I'm serving and my community and all of this. And if I'm gonna go watch a Netflix episode or two, that's all right, because I did what I needed to do today. And if I do it in the morning, okay, I'm just waking up. Cut me some slack, man. Well, what if this whole thing is an opportunity for us to cut each other and ourselves some slack? That's what I'm saying. The rat race is over. It's done.
You're right.
No more.
You're right. I really appreciate you saying that, because when all of this is shifted, and I know I have been judging myself more harshly than, I don't need to judge myself. I just don't need to. But I've been doing it. I've been judgy, poor judgy to me. So, I appreciate you saying that, because you're right.
Yep. I know.
Yeah. I haven't been eating bonbons all day and doing nothing. So I've been doing stuff.
Exactly. That's my point. That's my point. You can, let's allow the gravity of the situation to be what it is, And the fact that we're meeting it with smiles, with a powerful context that we're committed to sharing with other people, so that other people can see, oh, I don't have to fall into despair and, you know, go down the rabbit holes of depression and anxiety and addictions and all that kind of stuff. I can actually stay dialed in. You know, that takes a lot right now. It takes a lot right now. And if what that means is you gotta, you know, blow some of the pressure cooker off, you know, by zoning out on a video game or whatever for a little bit, so be it.
Okay. Yeah, we deserve that.
We do. Completely.
Pay attention to on here. All right, Shawn. Well, we're at 1:37, so I know you've got things to get back to and a beautiful baby and beautiful wife and family. So thank you.
So great.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, Deanna, thank you so much.
We will.
Keep going.
I'll post.
I love you.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Bye. I love you. Thank you. Bye. All right. Now let my beautiful son go ahead and stop the live stream right now. I want to just say thank you to Adam for handling tech today.